Welcome to the Kind of Intentional podcast. Life gets full fast and it's easy to drift from the life that you actually want to build. Each episode, we're going to take on one real-life topic, share honest stories, and pull out practical ideas you can actually use. These episodes they're short, they're focused, they're intentional because your time matters, and so does the life you're building. I'm joined here today with my co-hosts Danielle Andrew and Sean Horsley.
Ooh, last name drop.
I know, for sure.
What's up, Sean?
How's it going, guys?
And it wasn't plural either, was it?
No, just a singular me.
Yeah, it's just a single Sean.
That's good.
Well, Sean, fun fact, Sean is counting down the days to your wedding. How many days you got as of the recording of this episode?
As of the recording of this, we are 17 days away.
Whoa.
That's pretty stinky.
17 days. That's so exciting.
And another just fun fact, we're going to break the mold here. We're going to do two fun facts.
Right.
I don't tell anybody my fun facts until I just drop them. So everybody was expecting a different fun fact. And then I just go right into
We
it.
just have no idea. Keeping us on our toes.
I know, I'm just kind of intentional like that.
Just kind of.
All right. What's today's episode, Danielle?
If everything is important, nothing is.
Oh, man. Uh-oh. What does that mean?
I think we've covered this in some of the episodes that we've talked about, but there's not an award for being too busy.
No.
Like there's no trophy. No one's going to show up at your house and be like, here's $1,000 check. You were the busiest person this month. But yet we don't have enough time. And I think it's really cool, the concept of urgency versus importancy.
Yeah.
Is that a word?
Importancy? I don't know.
Importancy? I don't know.
Asking the wrong person.
Regardless, I think we should talk about like urgency versus important and how those two get confused, because this was a transformation spark for me.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think one of the things that we've talked about, and we've certainly talked through and we've worked through, this month is all about prioritization.
Mm-hmm.
So we gave this big framework. We know there was a lot of content the last episode with the 4 Fs. If you didn't listen to that, go back and take a listen to that. We'll probably break down those concepts a little bit more, but certainly with prioritization and urgency versus importance, I think some of the times we almost always hear the urgent is always louder than what's truly important.
Right.
And we hear these things every single day that like something is screaming, it feels urgent, but it's so difficult in the moment to understand what's urgent versus what's truly important. And so we're trying to give some ideas that there's always a trade-off in all these things. Like every yes is a no to something else. Right. You can't prioritize something without disappointing something else, right? Mm-hmm. And so there's this constant tension. It's a great tension when you actually start to understand it and you started to break it down.
Yeah.
But really, in a lot of these cases, when we're really thinking about everything is important, that means nothing's truly sacred. Nothing's truly is important. And so what we really want to do is we want to start to break through those things and start to say, okay, like, I get it. We've heard the Eisenhower matrix as to like how we're going to prioritize things. We've heard about this urgent versus truly important. Some of those things are great in theory. Sometimes you hear them in podcasts, you read them in books, and it's just like, okay, like today I got 5 things that I need to decide between. How the heck am I going to be able to decide between those things?
Right. Yeah, for sure.
So what does that look like to you? So, so certainly those things are kind of a different way to think about it. Like we're not trying to make this all about theory only. We're, I think most of our listeners would probably understand that there's that tension there.
Oh, for sure.
And so what we're trying to really cement in is like, okay, we all understand that mindset. Let's start from that as a starting point. But like, what kind of behaviors and systems can we start to really think through to start to cloud out some of the noise that's clouding us on a daily basis?
Yeah, and I think one of the unfortunate things, unfortunate, depending on who you ask, is we are just constantly consuming
content
all the time. Our phones are constantly in our hands. We're one swipe up away from a social media post. And, I think that being over informed, I didn't really understand until later in life what the phrase ignorance is bliss meant. And obviously it's important to be informed about what things are going on in the world, but I also think it's very important to be able to set natural boundaries for yourself. I'm an empath, so seeing all the bad things is something that I carry with me, good or bad, just how I am. And so one of the things for me that I had to do, because it's the overload of content and what's important in life, was just turning notifications off on my phone. Yeah. And so I don't get any social media notifications on my phone. I have the apps on my phone, but I don't get the notifications because I was finding that, just like we've talked about, like the dopamine, right?
Yeah.
Every time the Instagram notification popped on my phone, doesn't matter what I'm doing, I want to see what that is.
Yeah, there's
right
this
now.
urgency. Like,
I have to see what that is right now.
Check my phone.
And I could be having a conversation with someone, and now immediately my brain goes to Instagram message.
Yeah.
And even if I don't act on that, right? Even if I don't open the app or open the notification, now my brain has geared towards something else. It's taken the conversation or whatever it is away from, the meaningful relationship. And now I'm worried about X, Y, and Z. And so, you know, that's not easy because there is a level of, I don't know what's going on,
Right.
and you have to be okay with, what's important right now is this in front of me. I can check this later.
Yeah. So for sure, like, I mean, so again, what we're talking about there is our phones are really great about pushing urgency. There's constant notifications. I mean, that's how they're programmed for sure, is to like everything gets pushed, push notification this, push notification that, the sports app, the weather, the alerts from our social media, everything is a push notification because it's trying to say, this is urgent. You need to check this right away. And so it's really disappointing because, I mean, in a lot of those cases, what's truly important is the relationships that you're face to face with somebody right there. You're at a dinner meeting, you're having a phone conversation, or you're just in the middle of a storytelling and you're building relationship in person with somebody. And unfortunately, our phones are great about just pushing the urgency on us to say, like, hey, this is actually more important. And it may be completely meaningless, and so that's a great thing. So the behavior shift there is turning off notifications, and so, or you can do something else where you can actually do scheduled notification deliveries. And so I have scheduled notification deliveries for certain apps at a specific time during the day when I know I'm going to be in what I would consider my like a yellow or red zone where I don't have as much energy, and maybe it's helpful to get caught up because it's not bad to get the sports notifications app where your team is talking about what you're supposed to do or not to do. But unfortunately, if you're like me and the sports apps that I'm involved in, you get 15,000 questions as to what clothes you're supposed to wear, what color jersey we're wearing. We're supposed to be at the field at 10:15 or 11:15. And it's like, well, it's in there, but unfortunately, then you get 5 people that comment upon it. And now I get 5 push notifications. So those are all scheduled deliveries for me, and they all happen at 3:00 in the afternoon. And the reason it happens at 3:00 is it's usually when my day's winding down and a lot of my strategic work. And sometimes it's nice just to have some of those quick refreshers. And so the behavior shift that you were talking about there is just turning off the notifications altogether. Or the other system that you can do is you can actually schedule notifications at a specific time that's pre-decided by you. So instead of those notifications being urgent, they can actually happen on the occurrence and allow them to happen when you've told them they're allowed to happen, not the other way around, right?
Yeah, for sure.
So that's a great thing, because again, like as we've talked about, I mean, so certainly what we're getting into is phone notifications and distractions. So I'd categorize all those as distractions. But the other aspect of this is trying to understand with our priorities, like what task needs to be done first. And so, tell me, maybe I'll throw this one over to Sean, but like, what's a concept of prioritization that you've learned about task-based stuff?
I think there's with all of the tasks that you have to do, especially, I mean, with whatever your job is, with whatever you're doing at home, you have to be able to determine the difference, like you guys talk about, of prioritizing what's important and not just what's urgent, because like you're saying, the notifications come in and you've got 2 or 3 days before you actually need to be showing up to the field maybe, but instead you're actually replying to that now, when it's more important that you're actually being present with whatever conversation you're in, or actually sending the work email that you're supposed to be doing. But even though it's more important, whatever popped up, it seems more urgent at the time. So it's really easy to get confused really quickly.
Yeah, for sure. So, and I guess another system that we can kind of totally get into is, the scheduled do not disturbs that we can turn on our phone. So I have 5 different levels of do not disturb on my phone, and they apply at different levels because there's certain times that I want certain people to call through, certain notifications to come through. Sometimes I don't want any notifications to come through. And so those scheduled do not disturb times work really, really well because I don't have to try to remember to turn that do not disturb so that I don't get those notifications. And so one of the things that we want to really talk about is again, like if we allow everything to combat us, to constantly bombard us with urgency, whether or not it's an email, it's a phone call, those kind of things, we're never going to focus on what's truly important. And so I think that's definitely something that I see with Outlook. I certainly see it with text messages and other forms of notifications. I think sometimes our work is so broken up with short bits of information and short communication, where a lot of the people that we work with, they feel like they've done a lot during the day because they've responded to 100 email notifications or the Teams messages, or unfortunately, some people still use Slack. I hate Slack almost as much as I hate Post-it notes. But it's just one of those things where I'm an equal opportunity hater on certain technology packages.
So glad that you hate them all equally.
No, I guess actually prioritizing which ones I hate first.
Oh, I like that.
Paper, Post-it notes, email, like Outlook. Oh gosh.
You put Post-it notes above email?
I hate Post-it notes more than I hate email.
Wow.
Yeah.
I don't know that I've ever heard you say that before.
I know. Saying it out loud just makes me it gives me like a little bit of clarity. Like,
do you feel better?
Off my chest. And if anybody,
do you feel better?
I do. I'm
so glad.
Feel like people now know. Like, paper number 1, Post-it number 2.
I mean, that was a bold
priority.
Are we laminating that list?
We're not laminating. We're not laminating it. Because then that would mean I had to print it off, and
then paper is a no.
I understand the Friends reference there, but we are not laminating.
All right, that's fine.
So
I think one of the things, though, we let our urgency determine our day. Yeah, like we let urgency determine how we feel during the day. Like, I don't know about you, but when I'm getting an influx of notifications, or I'm in a group text and everybody's responding, and I'm like,
to respond to everything
I can't right now. Yeah. I feel like I physically feel the stress. Like I physically feel it. And so obviously that's not the best version of me if I am physically feeling that stress. So then my mind is trying to manage the outward feeling, and also trying to focus on what's important. That's really hard. And so I think that we've just gotten in such a bad habit of prioritizing urgent things and letting those determine how we spend our day and how we spend our time, when one simple question, is this urgent or is this important?
And I think, coming back to that and really thinking through that, I think one of the things that's bombarding us more than anything else is these notifications. They're usually short. They're packaged as a text message. They're packaged as an email that's only going to take a moment to respond to. They're packaged as that individual showing up at your office door and just saying, just have a quick question. And those things are constantly stealing from our focus. They're constantly stealing from our ability to focus on what truly matters, what's truly important in that day. And what we're talking about here is just some really simple systems. They're already built into our phones. They don't cost anything extra. Right. Is to just turn on those do not disturbs, just to create those scheduled notifications, just to turn off the notification delivery altogether, or close Outlook. I don't understand why, to some degree, everybody feels like Outlook has to be open all day, every day. Like, you can certainly set up scheduled times to check Outlook and respond to it on those scheduled frequency, because every single time you pivot and you allow that seemingly urgent notification to distract you, it's taken away from your focus, and it's taken away from what's truly important in most cases in those priorities. And it just robs you, whether or not that's in person or whether or not that's in the work that you're doing. So hopefully this was another great episode. Again, what we're talking about here is just, if everything feels important, especially in those notification settings, then you never really can focus on what truly matters. We're going to drop a new episode every Tuesday. We'd really love it if people would comment on these things, share what they're gaining from it, how we can improve. We're always here, because one of the things that we even try to do is just try to be a little bit better. Every time we record an episode, we try to be just a little bit better today than we were yesterday. That's what kind of intentional is about, is just trying our best to just do it a little bit better tomorrow than what we did today. So hope everybody enjoyed. See ya.
See ya.
See ya.